how I cured my cluster headaches. It's actually how I cured a lot of things, because I've had so many diseases and illnesses that I've overcome and moved through. But I thought I'd give you something today that will help you, because a lot of people are going through stress right now for a lot of different reasons, and I've created a lot of different techniques and things that I've put in my programs and my coaching that I've had to come to because it's how I survived, and this is one of them. Now, if you don't know what cluster headaches are, think of a migraine on steroids, and they're also called the suicide headache. And I will tell you that many times I wanted to die because it wasn't worth living through them, because you just are trapped forever. I wrote an article about it, and I'll attach it to this video because I'd love for you guys to read it. But mine started in 1979, and I can look back now, which is how I do my work. I look back and examine events in my life and those of my clients, because we always find some value there that we can use. So in 1979, when they first started occurring, I was in New York, and I was in a really terrible situation in my life, and I was trying to do so much that I probably should not have been doing, but I wasn't willing to move. I just hang on, and I was just and it was terrifying. I remember sitting in the attic of our office building at the time, and I would have to be in complete silence, and no one could talk to me, or I'd have to go outside. They're so incredibly painful. You can't talk to people. You don't want people around. You can't have light. You can't have anything, and you don't know when they're coming, and you don't know how they're going to last. So I lived with that forever, because I couldn't do much, because I might go somewhere and then I'm going to have an attack and I have to leave. And I can't explain that to people because they don't know what's going on. And when you have a chronic kind of condition like this, other people aren't going to understand that. They just think you're copping out, you're just not doing what you're meant to do. And that was never the case, because I was in horrible, horrible pain. And the other thing there, when you have something like this and then the doctors tell you, well, there's no cure. And at that time, when I first started, there weren't any medications that you could take. I mean, I could take over-the-counter things and all day long, and nothing would happen. I know that there are certain things now, certain drugs, but that you can take to alleviate the symptoms, but that's not the cure. And I didn't understand what I had done when I got this cure, because I did it in about 2003, I believe. And I had read The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle's book. And I'm going to give you this because I've used this in a lot of my work, and I didn't understand why it was happening. But we have science now that can tell us how we can do anything. And I've used this in everything that I've done at this point. But our cognitive abilities are in our control. We can choose to think in a particular way and cause things to manifest, cause things to occur. But we don't always stay there. I didn't stay there. And so when you're in a situation like I was, you want to run. You don't want to be there. And the power of now is saying, oh no, just be in your moment. Be where you are right now. And I can't do that. But I did. And I'll tell you this, because if you try this, let's make it fun. Because it wasn't fun for me what I was doing, but you can make it fun even if you're just doing meditation. This is really the great thing. And so the idea was there's no pain in the moment of now. When you're completely in your moment of now, there's no pain. And I read that concept and I thought, wow, okay, let me see if that can work. So I had already been meditating. I'm going to sit and I'm going to meditate and let's see what happens. And then I'd be sitting there and I know what it feels like when it's going to come, and I'm afraid now. No, I'm going to run. That's what I did. And I kept doing it. I said, no, I got to get through this. I can't live if I don't solve this. I cannot live, literally. I mean, there was too many nights that if I had had something, I would have killed myself. That's how terrible it was. And I said, I'm going to keep going. That's what I do also. If you know me, you know I keep going. And so I said, I'm going to keep trying this. And then I would get there, and then I'd say, okay, I would get a little bit further. I would say, okay, I'm fine, I'm safe. And the trick was, you see, to stay in the moment. Because I was worrying about, oh, wait a minute, that happened before, and it might come back again. So that's where my thought is. So guess what I'm creating? I'm fearing what might come again. And then because I don't want to be in the moment of now, I don't want to do the work that's necessary to change your brain, I want to run. I want to be in the future. Let me get out of here. I don't want to do that. I said, okay, let me change that. And so I would come back and I would just say, I'm just going to be here. And I'm not going to move. And then I got to the place where I could feel the pain coming. And you can feel it when it's happening. I said, but I'm not going to move. Because see, it has control of me now. I've got to get over that. And so I'm not going to be afraid anymore. And I stayed there. And I kept doing it. And over time, I said, oh, wait a minute. There were less. I didn't have a headache. Oh, I didn't have one as often. It didn't last as long. Something was changing. I said, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. And so what I've done now is that I've changed my brain. I'm using neuroscience. I didn't know what I was doing, but it works. So many of you, if you've worked with me, you know I have this one process that I use called sit in it. It came from discovering that. But I'm saying this because we're moving through a lot in the world, and you're going to be stressed and all of that. So try this. It takes practice. But I'm telling you, it is something that has become so powerful that you're not going to be afraid anymore. You're going to know the kind of abilities you have and the kind of power that you have. You'll stop doubting yourself, possibly. This is all the work that I do, is to get people in that place where they know what they can achieve if they only use the tools that they have, that they've been given. And that's what I give my clients. I just wanted to give you this, and I hope you are understanding that this period in your life is meant for you to awaken. That's why it's so stressful. That goes on quite a bit. And I understand now my 24 years of suffering with these headaches were brilliant because it got me to a place where I know what I can do and I can give that to others. All right, see you guys soon.